Hey y'all, it's Hope here from Crafty Hope, and welcome. I am working once again on Junk Journal January. This is day 15 with the prompt of opposites. This was one that I didn't work on till later in the day. I had an idea when I woke up. But I had gone hiking and I got back late and was like, oh my gosh, I've got to get this done. So I kind of rushed through it, but I knew I had this pocket. It's a part of a brown paper stack that had been folded over. So it was basically a pocket. And with opposites, I thought one thing could be on the outside, one thing on the inside, but I wanted to make a window. I don't know why. I just felt like it would be neat to have some kind of window. So I'm using some acetate here. You saw I put a little piece of what do you call that? Chipboard on the inside, used my craft knife to cut out about the size of the pocket I needed. I'm using that size of the window I need. I'm using the part I cut out as kind of a template, so I know cut bigger than this to cut that piece of acetate again with my craft knife. So yes, and I'm going to make sure that fits in there. See, I'm trying to get it in to make sure. Yep. That will make a nice little window. It does have a film on it. This is some store-bought stuff, not some upcycled stuff. I found it on clearance. Don't worry, I didn't buy a brand new package of acetate. So I'm going to peel that off, and then I'm going to use some black alcohol ink. I'm working on a craft sheet. I did do a tester. You can see some of the black alcohol ink there. I'm going to use one of the whatever that is, the alcohol ink applicator, to put it on there. This is not a beautiful application. Again, I was in a rush. This is not something I've done before. It was all experimental. That's what this Junk Journal January journey is for me, is kind of experimenting, do the things I've never done before. And yeah, if you don't know about Junk Journal January, this is a challenge that takes place each January. There's another one in July. It comes from Meg Journals. I will link her below, or at least tag her below, so you can go over to her page. She is sharing every day, but then there are 31 amazing artists who are actually assigned to exemplify these prompts for you. So I encourage you to go check out that playlist. Meg should have it at least in her first video if you'll go to that. Yeah. I'm still not feeling great, y'all, so this voiceover, yeah, it's a bit wacky. This is day 15, so it's about the middle of this Junk Journal January journey. And yeah. So I'm stopping to think because I'm trying to decide what I want to do. And basically what I was thinking in opposites was like day and night, light and dark, that kind of thing. And how did I want to exemplify that? So yeah. And I felt like I wanted to pull out something that was bright, but it looked dark, and I don't know. It just, yeah. So I wanted to do day and night. So I'm making this like window-ish thing. I'm adding some gold acrylic paint. This is the Modern Masters Olympic Gold. I love this gold paint, y'all. And I just put it on that pretty sloppily, again, using that bit of a piece of chipboard in there. And so you can see I've got I'm slipping that in there, making this mottled black window. And then I've got some glossy accents is what I'm going to use as my glue for this. So like all of my glues, of course, the tip is completely clogged up. So it took me a bit to get that started. And I am going to apply that from the outside, just lifting that up, because I was afraid if I tried to put that on the acetate and slide it in, I'd end up smearing it all the way across that plastic. So I was like, no, I'm going to just do it this way, because that brown paper sack is pretty pliable. So I could lift it up and then glue it down. And even if it tore, then I would just glue it down, right? We can fix our own mistakes. I'm sure there are other glues that would work for this. Then I'm probably E6000 works with everything. That's my go-to. Fabri-Tac might work, but I knew that glossy accents was something I've heard other people mention, especially with like vellum and other surfaces that are kind of difficult to work with. So I was like, yep, I've got it. So I'm going to use it. All right, so there is my last little bit. I've got a weird little window that looks like it's dark. Doesn't make any sense, y'all. I just wanted that idea of like night and day, light and dark. That was what I was thinking for opposites, and I wanted to try something a little different. So I think I've already said that. I am repeating myself. Sorry. Okay, so from there, I wanted something fairly sturdy. I didn't want to get up and go across my desk, so for some reason, I decided just to grab a piece of manila file folder that was sitting there near me and cut it down to about the size that I wanted to slip inside. Yep. Yeah, that's about the height that I want. I need to cut a little extra off there. Y'all, there's nothing precise about this in any way or shape. Yeah. So, and again, I'm just using the file folder because it's sturdy. It's cardstock. Like, I wanted something that wouldn't get super floppy sliding in and out of there. So, again, I'm going with the light theme. So I've got my white gesso. I'm going to put on this manila folder to make it less manila. And everything was a mess. I was so rushing to get to, and I'm really surprised to see the length of this video because it felt to me like this took forever to do. All right, so I've got that gesso painted. While it's drying, I pulled out some star stickers. These are silver and gold star stickers from my stash. And just to give it again that night feeling on there, and I'm gonna stick 3 at the top and 3 at the bottom, kind of alternating the colors. I'm using both the silver and the gold just because I've got them. Why the heck not? I think on the bottom it looks like I used 2 silver and 1 gold, which means at the top that I used 2 gold and 1 silver because yeah, it has to be fair. that's just how I fly. All right. Um, so, and I didn't have an idea for a sentiment or anything. I will get to sentiment here in a little bit and it will just come to me. So I'm sorting through this. I think am I going to college? Okay, and I find this piece of, yeah, you can see this is a handwritten letter that I'd done some watercoloring on, and it had these flowers, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. If this is night, if the outside is night, then the inside it'll be daytime, and in daytime you can see the flowers, and let's do something bright and happy and light filled, and that felt like flowers was kind of perfect. So I quickly cut that. I accidentally cut off one of the leaves, I think. So I just cut it out and I'm going to stick it down on there. So as I'm looking at that, I realize that the background is far too plain for me. It needs some zhuzhing. So I start with some distressed ink and black soot to ink up the edges. I'm going to look at it again. I'm trying to keep it still bright and happy and not too dark. So yeah, I didn't add much more. I got those glued down. I think my battery must have died there. And you can kind of see those flowers poking out there from inside the window, but not like a lot. What am I doing here? Okay, so I've got this little piece of paper. I've taken it to the typewriter and I came up with a phrase that says, what does it say? At night, I can see the stars, and I'll ink the edges of that. And I'm going to stick that on the outside of my folder or of my window there. And then the inside phrase I've got, and it says, by day, the flowers shine, or something like that, y'all. It was just something I made up about what you see at night and what you see at day. And what's, kind of reminding you that when it's dark, you can still see the light, and in the day there's still things to appreciate. So whether you're like a night owl or a morning person or whatever, there's still something to be appreciated on either end of the spectrum, I guess. The opposites. This still felt very blank to me, so I decided to do just a little bit of some mark making. I added some some lines in black, and then I'm using my Uniball Signo gold gel pen to, put some gold lines, and I'll come in with a few black lines as well. So kind of just balancing again the black, the gold, and everything. I did not do a great job of gluing that down, but and you can kind of see that at the bottom of this I added more gold than I did black, and at the top it was more black than gold. Again, just balancing things. And I wanted to bring that gold also into the pocket. You saw I put it on the outside of the pocket, so I thought I'd bring it in as well with that. So I inked the edges of that as well. That's just going to need the Uhu to stick it down. It's just on that gessoed file folder. And I'll use the glossy accents and I don't need much of that either to glue it down. Of course, it's clogged back up. Oh my gosh, y'all. If y'all know some kind of, and I know I should probably keep my, my straight pen inside that glossy accents. Is that what y'all do to keep your ears clear? Let me know. I'd love to hear any tips you've got for that. So I'll glue that onto the acetate, and is that it? This was, like I said, this video is a lot quicker than it felt like this one. Oh, I decided I needed something to, like, as a pull or something on there. So I'm going to slip this in there and kind of look at it and decide if I need something. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of do. So I think it's just a little strip of fabric in my stash somewhere. Oh, and I tend to doodle on my watercolor flowers and stuff, and this one did not have any of that on it, so I'm going to do that real quick with some other pen. I don't even know. I'm looking. It's a fairly fine tip looking at it, but I can't tell you what pen that is. Just something that was handy. I'll add some gold on there as well because, I'm going with the gold theme. And it's not noticeable. It just made me feel like it was a bit more finished. Okay, now I think I'm going to find some kind of scrap of fabric, and I think I'm just going to staple it with a mini attacher because at this point I was like, I have got to finish this. Yeah, that's just a little strip of part of a flour sack towel, it looks like, and I will staple it and slip it in there. And y'all, I think that's it for opposites. I hope this gave you a better look at how easy it is just to quickly create something like that. Even if you don't know what you're going to do, just go play in your junk journal and enjoy the process of trying something new and different. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. I would be happy to start a conversation with you and come back later and see what else I've made in this junk journal January journey. All right. Bye.